Hello everybody. How are we doing? How you doing? It's the start of a new week and we are almost at the end of January. Cursed January. There's only 6 days left of this month. How's it going? You guys good? Oh. Yes, it's here. Week number 5 of the year as well, actually. Thinking about it. And as you can see, we're creeping ever closer to 100,000 subscribers. So close now! We can almost taste it. We are a mere 287. Well, 288 away from it no longer being a 4-figure number to it being a 3-figure number, which is incredibly exciting, nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing, excitement overriding, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I'm sure we'll cook up some content over the next month or so that will help us get over the line. But tonight, what are we going to do? What are we going to do tonight? Well, there's a couple of different things that we could do. One of which is to finish the basing on the Slaven Knights. That's kind of like the first thing that we need to do. And then there's stuff I can build or stuff I can paint. I might paint some Warriors of Minas Tirith. I might paint the Rot Swords. I might paint some Future Blight Kings. I might even test out our Pestigor's recipe with you all live. We could see if that works. We'll see how it goes. But we should keep things going. But before we go any further, Hungry Bert with the 5 Warhipster memberships gifted out to the community. Thank you so much, Hungry Bert, you bloody legend. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. We're going to talk about the new Iron Warriors reveals. I mean, we can. They've revealed an Iron Warriors character and an Iron Warriors upgrade sprue. Fun. It's lots of chaos. Dug out of the snow and ready to get the paint I need to follow your Shelob tutorial. Awesome, Casey. Love to hear it. More to come, though. Is that what they said? They say there's more to come. Warhammer community. Enter the Iron Warriors of Warhammer Kravik. To be honest, long years of fighting. As Warhammer's look, which will be this set of heads. You need to paint them. They're actually great. So welcome this terrible campaign into Imperial Space and Tail. We'll reveal more when we know, but rest assured it's a biggie. More to come soon. Iron within or iron without. I don't know if that means more Iron Warriors. I think just more means more information. Maybe. Hope you're doing well so far this year. I am. January is always a tricky one in YouTube land. Because January is post-Christmas. And post-Christmas, nobody wants to pay for advertising because everyone's already bought everything. They've spent all their money for Christmas, which means that ad revenue just plummets off a cliff. It just completely plummets off a cliff in January. So it means that, as I'm sure all of you experience, having Christmases, where you buy presents for your friends, family, and loved ones, you are suddenly without money for most of January until you get paid. It's the same thing for YouTube, except it's delayed by a month. So just in January you don't earn very much at all. So gifted memberships like yours, Hungry Butt, make all the difference. So thank you very much. And that is our first 5 of our weekly goal of 50 achieved already. So 45 more to go. So thank you very much. I wonder if we'll finally get a new Defiler sculpt. The old one does seem to show its age. I think they should just kill the Defiler at this point. It's a silly model. I think they can do a lot better. Personally. I hope you feel better soon, Fake Street Spirit. I am staying safe, but I am fighting a virus as well and loved the catapult. There you go. I'm sorry that you're not feeling very well, Fake Street Spirit. I much prefer the knackered Cities of Sigmar Steel Helm. Oh, he was pretty cool. I reckon we'll be getting Plastic Purty at some point this year. Maybe. Maybe, who knows? Well, we'll have to find out. There's a non-zero chance that actually when they say there's more to come, there isn't actually a huge amount more to come. But what we might get is they're gonna do an Iron Warriors character and an Iron Warriors upgrade sprue. It might mean that there's an Alpha Legion character and an Alpha Legion upgrade sprue, a Word Bearers character and a Word Bearers upgrade sprue, a Night Lords character, and we've already got a Night Lords upgrade sprue. You see where I'm going with this? That might be something that we could see in the future. A la Space Marine Index time last couple of years ago, something like that. But yeah, so over the weekend we finally finished the Slaven Knights, so they're all done. I think they look pretty spectacular. There you go. And there we go. So what we need to do is we need to finish their bases. So that's the first thing, realistically. If we get that done, we'll know that today was a success. You see. So we might as well just do that. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Tyrant Skull. That's what we need. Night Lords are pretty well serviced with the Nemesis Claw and Raptors compared to some other legions like Alpha Legion and Word Bearers. I will say, Swennels, the Raptors are not Night Lords models. They've just been painted as Night Lords. That's all in the Kill Team box. They do not have any Night Lords iconography. There's no Night Lords helmets. There's nothing. There's nothing about them that is Night Lords other than the paint job. I just finished my painting. I just finished painting my Sidonian Scatros following your guide. 8th model I have finished. Do you remember how you based it? Sidonian Scatros. Which one's that? Is that Stilt Boy? Is that Stilt Boy? I didn't think anybody painted. Let's have a look. Sidonian Scatros. It is Stilt Boy. Hooray! Let me look at the video. Shush. If I had to guess, based on what I'm seeing, that is a classic Sterland Mud Dry Brush with Tyrant Skull, which is exactly what we're doing today. And Black Templar for all the gubbins. It's usually what we do. It's the thing that we do around here. We're anything if not boring and predictables. Something just dropped on the floor and I don't know what it was. But I heard it go. Hang on. Was it that? Oh, it might have been that. Okay. Dave Hill, thank you very much for the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. See, now we're 20% of the way there. That's amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. In the words of Willy Wonka, you get nothing. You'll get nothing and you'll like it. That's what I always think. Yeah, so these have been based in Sterland mud. And now what we're going to do is we're going to dry brush that Sterland mud with some Tyrant Skull. The same thing we always do, Pinky. Try to take over the world with Sterland mud and Tyrant Skull. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to dry brush this base. Pachow. So yeah. What have you guys been working on the past couple of days? I've been working on secret things as well. Don't get me wrong. I can't tell you about the secret things, of course, can I? Because that would be naughty. One down. Oh no, missed a bit. Hello, Ed. How are you doing? Will be my first time basing. Ah, well, in that case, make sure you don't use, if it's your first time basing and you do it the way I do it and you're using texture paints, do not use a fancy nice brush. Use a rubbish brush. Or better yet, get yourself a texture tool or a very long scraper thing to use the Sterling mud. And it will take a little while for it to dry. So one thing I do with my basing is I do it before I go to bed. So then I can sleep. And then the very first thing I do the next day is this. Unless, of course, I completely forget to do it and do something completely different with my day. Which is quite often what happens. To the point of where all this stuff starts to build up. And then you end up with 20, 30, 40 or 50 models that you have to base. And then you spend your live streams doing it. Which is not exactly the most fascinating content in the world. So what you have to do then is you have to be charismatic and interesting and entertaining whilst you're doing what is quite possibly the most boring and uninteractive thing you can possibly do in the hobby, aside from priming outdoors away from everybody else, if you see what I mean. And I often fail at doing that, but today I'm feeling like if I can keep the chatter going, I'll feel like a legitimate streamer today. I haven't felt that way for a couple of months. I felt like I've not done a very good job because I've been doing a lot of boring things live. Apart from the airbrush stuff. I guess the airbrush stuff was quite exciting. And I will say, for anybody who saw that, if you've been hoping to be able to go back and comment on it, I did unlist it, but that's only because I'm going to be using the footage for something else. So that video is not far away. I just need to figure out how I'm going to fix the bodge job I did with the white. And for white airbrush aficionados in the chat, you may be able to help me with the answer to that. Because I feel like maybe, well, the problem I had obviously was that I thinned the primer down too much, I think. And then I wasn't careful and methodical enough with it, because it definitely screams of that, right? It feels that when I look at the way the problems have been on it. So part of me is kind of tempted to pick up like a proper like airbrush white paint, like a Model Air or something like that, and try doing it that way, because it's just, I don't need to use primer at that point, right? Because I've already primed it with the black. So part of me feels like what I need to do is go back over it with the black, just get it back to normal, because it shouldn't be too destructive, right, with the black, because it's airbrushing, right? It's a very thin coat of things. But if we can get that done, and then go over with a slightly thicker white, but much more kind of measured in our approach to it, we might fix it. Or I just ignore doing that and actually just paint them with like the yellow, for example, which we're planning to do anyway. I finished Clawlord on a Norbeast, and now I'm painting Lord Vigilant on Griftstalker. That's what I like to hear. Following your Pestigore vid and trying to figure out how to do Syndragosa WoW theme on my Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Strong, strong. I like it, I like it. Got caught under 40 centimeters of snow here in Midwestern US. Unfortunately, just in time to have finished my miniatures backlog, so repainted some old Minas Tirith warriors up closer to my new level. I love to hear that, John. I was thinking I might paint some Minas Tirith warriors today. Come here. I've had these sat on my desk for months, just at this level. And all they need is the grips of their swords, a bit of gold and some white doing to them. Well, shading and some highlights. But, like, I was thinking maybe doing them today, but we'll see. Right. How is it we base everything? Do we normally use... How did I do... What are the tufts I use? Let's go... Dark water. I think it's dark moss is the ones that I've been using. Yeah. Dark moss. Tiny dry green, tiny dark moss, maybe. Tiny light green. Mixed green, no. Violet flowers, no. White flowers, no. Tiny dry green, no. So many tufts. We'll use a bit of burn grass as well because it looks nice. Might need that. Dark moss. Tiny dark moss. Beige, tiny, oh, we do have another big dark moss. Okay. Okay. Good evening, Steve. Let's start with burned, and let's get this used. So these are burned 2mm tufts. I really like them. It's just basically blackened grass, and I think it's a really, 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 really cool product that Gamers Grass makes. And the only criticism I have is that they don't make a tiny version of it, as far as I'm aware. They might if you direct order it, but most of like the stockists don't seem to have it. So like if indeed it exists at all. So I think this sort of just blackened grass looks fantastic, and it can look fantastic on pretty much any miniature, right? I mean, look at that. It's not particularly impactful there, but it's enough, you know, to not detract from the model. We're of course going to be adding a little bit of green in there, not too much, but we're going to be adding a little bit of green in there with the dark moss. But I do genuinely think that this burned stuff from Gamers Grass is just amongst the finest of hobby products. You can have another one there. Why not, eh? That will do, and then we'll just use up the rest of it on this guy. 1, 2, and 3. And 4. We have used up a packet of tufts. It's good news. Let's see how... Oh, I don't think we'll be able to use all of that, but we'll use a fair whack of it, I'm sure. I realise I'm going too fast. We're supposed to drag this out for 2 hours. We're going to have to figure something else out to do. We won't do too many of these ones on here. We'll do like 1 or 2. Because we're going to do the tiny ones on there. We'll go 1 and 2. Actually, we'll do a third on this guy. Let's make him really grassy. One, two, three. I need to check the Discord and see how the Ultramarines 20 minutes a day is coming. I'll give you an update on that shortly if you like. It's been coming along quite nicely. It's absolutely the most stressful thing in the world for me, doing that. And I'll tell you why it's stressful. It's because I sit here and I paint all day, every day, and leaving things completely unfinished, and indeed colours completely unfinished, is horrible to my brain. It's really, really horrid. But it's been an experience, that's for sure. But as of where we've got to with it, they are all battle ready. The blue is all done, and I did my 20 minutes. I've already done my 20 minutes today, so I could have left it for I could have left it for now. But the 20 minutes that I did today was on White Scar highlights, and we managed to do 3 models and a helmet. So that's good. That's good news. You're clean, you're almost dead, and you're clean as well. Right, so we'll do that in that order, and then we need you. So we are 26 days into the 20 minutes a day. So 26 times 20, if anyone can do that maths. Well, that would be 520, right? 520? Which would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54. We're coming up on 9 hours done on the stern guard. And this is what I'm saying, is I'm like, this is only 9 hours worth of work. Normally I would do this in a day, so 11, 12. Probably 11, 12 hours. Right, Tiny Tufts. Let's get you on there. But yeah, it's it just bothers me no end. I think that's gonna sort of make. I think that's probably gonna morph into like a monthly blog. So I was thinking of actually getting the first of those videos out next week, if we finish the stern guard in time. But I don't know if we will, because there's 2 shoulders and a knee of white to do. Then it's black detail. Oh, actually, we'll do the Crux Terminatus stuff next. Then there's gold, silver, black details in general, eye lenses, and the red helmet as well. So, oh, and there's like the parchment and the robes and the purity seals as well. They all need a little highlight. So I don't know if we'll finish it in the month of January, because it's going to take us to 31 days. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, the interesting thing I think about it though has been that like I am learning how long roughly it takes me to do these things, because I've filmed every minute of it, you see. So I've got a folder currently with many hours worth of footage, which is going to be reduced down into mere minutes. Using time-lapse features, but yeah, no, it was funny. And then it's on to the next unit, and I don't know if I'm gonna do. I think I might do the Victrix Guard next, because that's a unit of 3, and we'll see how long that takes. Maybe that won't take the whole month of February. But then similarly, I might do a character next, which would kind of make sense to do, you know, because that's just a single model that we can do reasonably quickly. Let's put this here. Boom. Where's the packet for that gone? Oh, it's over there. Those look like Gamer's Grass Tufts. These are Gamer's Grass Tufts indeed. What tufts are these? Also, do they stick entirely? The duty booms come off if I move them. Yeah, no, I've never had a problem with these coming off, and if I give them a good bit of pressure, sometimes they might, but I use a lot of tufts, so if I lose one or two occasionally, it doesn't bother me so much, because I mean, look how many tufts I've put on there. You know, I put a ton of tufts on stuff. Right, we need to do the rims. It's time for the victory lap. Maybe we should keep that for dry brush, and we'll use a fresh piece of kitchen paper. Okay, we need our pot of Black Legion for this. There's not much left in this pot. How's the airbrush journey going? I just got one myself. Still figuring out how to thin the paints within the brush, either externally or internally. I haven't progressed since last week. I've been trying to think about how to fix the mistakes I made last week, rather than just going in and doing it, because I'm ever such a busy boy. Experimenting takes time. And I've got lots of things I need to be getting on with at the moment. So I'm in a theoretical phase with it. But like I said at the time, I enjoyed priming some models black, which does not help me with my usual way that I paint at all, but there you go. That's something at least. One. Hello, Wiggle Wiggles Bottom. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? I'm trying to be deadly efficient at the moment. Once I've done this, I'll show you guys where we're at with the old stern guard. Part of me was thinking the other day about trying to find, speaking of trying to find Victrix Guard, part of me was thinking about the other day trying to find another 6 and just giving in to the pressures of the meta. 12 Victrix Guard is a pretty strong contender for a very, very good list at the moment. And my current plans only have 6 of them in. So halfway there to victory. Halfway to glory. Just don't know what I'd drop in favour of them. I mean, I know, like, you take the 6 Victrix Honor Guard, and you do... So you take 12 Victrix Honor Guard, and you take a couple of... I think it's Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Possibly 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. I mean, 18 Victrix Guard was the hotness, but they took away a wound, I think. So they're no longer 4 wounds each. Which is a bit crazy. Bow. And we're done. Should the technical paint still go over Graysir? Anything can go over Graysir. In what way do you mean? Airbrushing doesn't save me any time. I usually use it to add gradients or paint white. Makes sense. Kato. Yeah, so my Ultramarines collection that we're doing 20 minutes a day on that is driving me mad is... I'll tell you what it is. Ultramarines. An ancient in Terminator armor. Captain Titus. Now, because of course. Captain in Terminator armor, Cato Sicarius, Chaplain in Terminator armor, Librarian in Terminator armor, Marnius Calgar in the armor of Antilocus, and Rabute Gilliman. Then we have 10 Sternguard, 10 Assault Terminators, 5 Terminators, and 6 Victrix Honor Guard, and of course now the Wardens of Ultramar. And I was mucking about with making this into a 3,000 point thing. But depending on what comes in the new edition, I don't know if I'm going to put the new edition into Ultramarines. I don't know if I'm going to put it into Blood Angels. I don't know if I'm going to put it into Salamanders, or I'm going to put it into Ultramarine, Imperial Fists, or even White Scars. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what's around the corner for us? You know, we have no idea. So yeah, this was a 2,000 point list, but then Captain Titus and the Wardens of Ultramar came out, so now it's a 2,065 point list. So there's an argument to be made to just, like, you know, drop the Ancient in Terminator armor, and then that puts it down to 1990, and then it's, you know, it's good to go. But we shall see. Who knows what 11th edition holds for us in the future? Well, we've done job number 1. The Slaven Knights. They are all fully based, which is good. The question is what do I do next? I could paint some... I could paint the black rot swords. That could be something that we could do. The tutorial for them is recorded. It is, yes. Should I make sure to put it over Graysir, or is it fine to go over plain black base? Oh, for the texture paint? Yeah, no, it can go over anything. It's all good. Are we still getting painting videos for rot swords and pestigores? Well, I mean, it would make sense then, wouldn't it, for me to make a start now on doing the rot swords or the pestigores video? Let's just do some rot swords, shall we? I'll give them a dust just in case they need it. They have been sat on the desk for a little while. I have to remember how I did them. Where I started, at least. Because we've done 5. Hello, Captain. One, two. Oh, I remember how I started these. I started them with all the Black Legion. So I was like... We can kick this video off by using... what's it called? What am I thinking of? Rune Lord Brass to do all of the armor, but I was like, nah, get all of the, because in terms of order of operations, right? When I do something like, let's say, 1,000 Suns, and it's all covered in trim. The reason I do the contrast first is because I can cover the mistakes on the trim with the base and layer paint really easily. What I can't do is cover the mistakes from the trim on the panels really easily. If I do that first, I have to rebase it with Grey Seer. So that's the reason I do it in that order. But so with these, I was like, let's just not do the Rune Lord Brass first. Let's do that last. So yeah, it involves making them look rubbish to begin with, basically. I don't know where to put these. Maybe that's the vibe. We do that. And then I just pick these up. Fold that over. And put that there. There we go. They should be out of the way now. Because we need to do some camera adjustments. Okay, we need what? Oh yeah, we were going to show you this, wasn't I? Camera adjustment. Wah! So yeah, this is where we got to with our 20 minutes a day. So today I did I've done the white scar on his helmet, but I haven't done his shoulders, so that's why he's on a painting handle at the minute. These three have all had their white scar doing, so that's where they've got to, and all of their blue is all done. So they're looking mighty. And this guy hasn't had any of his white scar doing, but he has had all his blue done. So that's where we got to. 20 minutes a day every day since January the 1st. And there have been some days where I've done 18 minutes and some days where I've done 21 minutes. It's all evened out. You know? So there we go. Right, we need painting hand lays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top tip for anybody who's thinking of becoming a YouTuber and uses the old GW painting handles. They do not sit flat on the desk. In that orientation, they have a little tilt down. But in this orientation, they do sit flat on the desk. So, there you go. That's why sometimes you'll see models will be lined up on the deck like this in my videos, and then as we paint, they start to slowly rotate round. There we go, and then we just zoom out a little bit, and now we are ready. Nearly. I do have a question. I use Steel Legion Drab to paint the rims on my bases. Is there a contrast color that's close to that I could use instead? There isn't, and the reason I use Black Legion is because Black Legion is a single pigment, so it's really easy to apply like that. The problem you'll run into using a non-signal pigment, so using, I don't know, something like Snakebite Leather, which isn't far away from Steel Legion Drab, what you'll end up with is by the time you get round to the other side, it will then do a coffee stain where you started because it'll overlap because it'll have dried by the time you get there. You see what I mean? So you don't want to have a patchy rim. Nobody wants that. That's why I use Black Legion as absolutely. It's absolutely fine to use Black Legion because it doesn't do that. But like anything else, it might be a bit of a problem. Is why I wouldn't recommend it. Right, let's have a look at you. Yeah, we did Black Legion first. Did we do it on the inside? No. Black Legion, Cycle Brown. Yeah, this is all making sense to me. Okay, dokay. Right, we need you and you. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm ready if you are. I think. Oh, no, I don't have a picture up. Need a picture. Otherwise, I'm completely without a guide. Rot swords. Temporarily out of stock. Maggot can be popular. Image. Yep, fine. And fine. Yep. Yep. He's a big pig. Yep. You can be a big pig too. Oi. Okay. Here we go. Filming. Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus Pay-2 tutorial from the Mortal Realms. Yes, we are back once more with the Maggotkin of Nurgle. Yes, and today we are painting the Rot Swords. These are very, very beautiful armoured Nurgle warriors, in the simplest sense. A massive thank you, of course, goes to Games Workshop, who sent me these early, although we are a bit late in producing the video, but they did send these to me early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we are finally going to be doing today. So they are all primed in Wraithbone, and the colour we're going to be using is Black Legion, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the kind of undersuits and like shirts and wraps and things around their arms and stuff like that. And the reason we're doing this first is we just want to get all of the contrast out of the way before we engage in the Runelord brass for our classic Darkwater-esque armor scheme. And the reason being is that because it starts with Runelord brass, is it'll just cover over any contrast mistakes we may make at this point. So we can be a little bit messier than normal, should we wish to be. But for now, what we're going to do, just going to get this Black Legion all over the top of the shirts, the trousers, and all that good stuff. And then once that's all done, we shall return. Done it. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. Alright. I'll pay attention to you again, chat, in like an amount of time. Shouldn't take too long, this, actually. Because some of them have got a little bit more than others, and some of them have got a little bit less. Mike Seaton, thank you very much for being a member for 31 months, and Mr. ADR Wargaming has been a member for 52 months. You're 8 months away from 5 years. Don't stop now! It looks like his arm is bare. So I'm going to leave his arm bare. But we are going to do his... Oh no, he's just... Oh yes, no, he does have a shirt. Hey, Mansu said, cancel subscription. That's fair. Totally legit response. I can't tell. Hang on. Is one of these 360 degrees of the champion? It is. Right. It is indeed a bear arm. Arm of a bear. Sick. My eyes have not failed me today. Thank you, eyes. Thighs. It's a fun reference for anybody who got it. Bless you, ants. Blants. There you go, Adam got it. Thank you, ants. Thants. I had to replace my my Valiant medium layer brush. That navigated Festus the Leech Lord, the Wardens of Ultramar, the entirety of Darkwater, Shelob. I was very sad about it. I liked that brush. It was very good. It was a very, very... It's one of those times where you just get a really good one from Games Workshop. Banner Boy. What about you? I knew it. Right, that's all of you, I think. Yeah, because not even the banner pole is in black. Yes, you love to see it. Two down. All right. This is getting into the realms of we don't have any pictorial references, so I have to just make it up as I go along, which is always my favourite part. I tell you, one of the most the most difficult examples of that. One of the most difficult examples of that in modern, in recent history, was Subadan Khan. Because there were absolutely no pictures of him from the other side. And it was like, oh, well. This wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't that glorious shield there. And yet... So the only picture of the other side of him was a screenshot I took off of the video where they showed him off for the first time. And it's not even from, like, the promo shot. It's from when they do their thing on the desk where they're like, hey, look at the size of it. And they turn it round for about a second. And I was like, well... I guess we're just making stuff up now. Good evening, Martin. Yeah. This is definitely trouser leg. Boop-a-doo-doo. Boop-a-boo-boop. Ba-ba-doo. This is good, chat. This is good that we're getting this started, because sometimes, for me, getting started is the hardest part. Bit. So what time is it? 6:30. Oh, we've still got plenty of time. We'll get a bit more of this done yet. Oh yeah, no, it is. Cool. Do you enjoy any sports at all? Yes, I enjoy many sports. I like sports, and I don't care who knows. Stream didn't even die at London Bridge, which is where it normally gets me. That's impressive. They've upgraded you to have the super internet. The travel net. Late here this evening. What are you painting, Mr. Warhipster? I am currently applying the Black Legion to the rot swords at long last. Gotta get under there. Aha. This guy seems to be very naked. Like, not fully naked, but it's like, brother, where's your armor? He's not rocking a lot. Are those cuts in the cloth so that we can see his flesh? Or are they not? Maybe this picture will tell me. No, it doesn't. Oh, no, it does sort of. Okay. Is this number 3 or is it number 4? No, it's number 3. It's my understanding that Maggot and Nurgle fans are quite excited about rot swords. And I don't blame you. They're very nice models. Bit. Alright, what about you? How clothed are you? Not very. A little bit heavier armoured though. That's what we like to see. Oh no, there it is. Why did I leave all the mostly naked ones till last? It seems foolish. This is one of those things we talked about earlier where I said most boring streams on the internet. Okay, number 4. Nearly done. Nearly done. Cool. I watched Karate Kid Legends last night, and I gotta say, chat, I was disappointed. And it made me sad. Because I am on record as saying that Cobra Kai is an amazing, amazing TV show. I loved that. But unfortunately, Karate Kid Legends wasn't very good. And, you know, Cobra Kai got silly towards the end, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it had a very satisfying ending. It's one of those shows I enjoy where, like, it's like, you know, everything that they're doing in that moment is the single most important thing that's ever happened anywhere ever in the world. And I love it so much. There are so many stakes and tension right now. It's like, no, there isn't. But okay, I'm on board. Let's go. It harkens back to a time. I mean, it's the Karate Kid universe, right? So it definitely harkens back to a time. But just, you know. If we lose the All Valley tournament, Cobra Kai will take over the world with their business model. It's like, oh no. I just love it so much. But yeah, unfortunately, Karate Kid Legends wasn't as good. And it just made me go, it just made me want more. To be like, alright, I mean, there's still plenty of films to tell here. Alright, we are done. Lovely. Okay. You are a unique viewing experience. That's true. I am. Maybe have some music from Bare Naked Ladies in the background for giggles. I would love to, Martin Roberts. I'm a big fan of the Bare Naked Ladies. I saw them live in Bristol last year. Last year? Maybe it was last year, year before. Big fan. Love it. Unfortunately, if I play any of their back catalogue, I will get copyright hit. And you know what you don't want to do in January when revenue's down massively because you don't have any ad revenue coming in because the advertiser's not spending any cash? You don't want to torpedo your channel. That's the thing you don't want to do. Hey Josh, do you have any plans to visit the Raven Wing of the Dark Angels anywhere in the nearest future? Your Deathwing guides are amazing, but I'm running out of Deathwing minis and coming up on Raven Wing soon. Here's the thing. I think if I do a Raven Wing video now, I am tempting fate. Okay? I think doing a Raven Wing video maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, probably would have worked out, but if I had to guess, next edition Dark Angels will be getting a bit of a Raven Wing thing going on. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So I can't tell you when that'll be, and I can't even tell you if that's an accurate prediction, but let's face it, it's probably the thing that's going to happen. Whether or not it'll be a satisfactory Raven Wing thing, then I have no idea. But that would be when I would be looking to do one if they do a Raven Wing set of models. And if the Dark Angels Codex comes out in 11th edition and there is no Raven Wing in sight, then we will try and look at doing something. Good evening. Thanks to your videos, got all of Darkwater painted before Christmas. My son and me had a great time playing through it and beat Gelgus on New Year's Eve. Cheers, Warhipster. Well, you've done something I haven't, Bruni. I haven't beat Gelgus Pust. Hello, Chris Bailey. What sports disciplines do you enjoy? Not good football, as he is a United fan. Yes, I am a Manchester United fan. So I do enjoy the soccer ball. I do also enjoy American football, otherwise known as the NFL. I like tennis. I like cricket. I like rugby. What else do I like? Long walks on the beach. I don't like those. That's a lie. I like the beach, just don't like going in the sea or walking on it. I could especially see it, Zan, coming next edition, because we've had Subodin card on his floaty jet bike, and Outriders do exist. I could see them being like, all right, let's now do some let's do some Black Knights, and then actually getting rid of Ravenwing bikers. I think they've already gone, haven't they? I don't think Ravenwing bikers exist. Is that right? Or is it just if you if you have Outriders and they're in a Raven, you can just say they're in a... They can get the Ravenwing keyword or something. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But I could see Ravenwing getting dedicated Black Knights models that replaces the older kit. They're a tough one, Ravenwing, as well, because they're so much of them is black, and they are a bigger model. It almost makes sense to prime them black and just paint the rest of the details in a classic way. Almost. So the next thing to do is to probably use Cygor Brown over top of all of the leather details. That's probably the next thing we should do once it's all fully dry. But we shall see. Oh. These should be... Yes, they are. I feel that I don't know what to do. I currently staring at 3 discs of Zinch, not knowing how I want to paint them. That Zangor Enlightened / Skyfires. Airbrushing, and now he's thinking about classic painting. What's happened to Josh? It's about. Look, this is the thing, right? And this is why, like with the airbrush video, that's why I need to fix the I need to fix the mistakes I made before I can get that video out. But I can be deeply critical of other things all the time. I should also be critical of my own processes. And look, whilst I probably would paint Ravenwing bikers with contrast paints, probably would. Is that a sensible way to do it? Probably not. Like, there's elements of it, of course, but like, you know, like if painting black isn't something that you struggle with, then doing it in the contrast plus way makes sense, because presumably white is the thing that's more difficult, and so therefore using the contrast method to paint the white is the easier way of doing it, and all those additional details that are around on the Ravenwing bikers. But as I remember them, they are mostly black, silver, and white with a little bit of brass on the shoulder. And that's mostly it. There's a bit of red on the gun, and there's the plasma coils. But otherwise, that's mostly it for them. So, I should be critical of my own process as well. It doesn't mean that I won't do it in the stupid way, but it means that if I was to as we're talking about it, and I haven't made the video, I can say, well, probably the sensible thing to do is this. It's like, a question came up the other day of how would you paint a Order of Our Martyred Lady battle tank, and it's like, I'd probably prime it black, to be honest, rather than endless amounts of Black Legion going on over the top. It's actually probably just better to just prime it black. Josh, did you also find the Slaven Knights kind of a pain to build? No, I didn't find they were that bad. One of them's a bit annoying. I can't remember which one. There's a little bit of a click you have to do to get it in, but otherwise they were pretty much okay. Those bow, goat, bird guys. I have a video on how to paint a Zangor Shaman on disc. That might help you. I think it's a Zangor Shaman. I definitely did a Zangor Shaman for Adam, if he's still here. Hang on. Zangor Shaman. Boom. Nope. Not boom. Now boom. Boom. There you go. That's how you got the inspo for the Shaman from the Combat Patrol, I see. Yeah, I mean, look, the fundamental difference between the Shaman on disc and the Enlightened is that there isn't one. There's just the same video, basically. That would be how I would do them. I would be like, right, I've got to paint some Skyfires now. Let's see what I've done in the past. There's the Shaman. That's how I'll do it. If you see what I mean. Come to me, Psycho Brown. Okay, let's do the next coat of paint, which hopefully should take us up to 7:30. But pause. Ooh, filming. That's what we want. So with all of that Black Legion applied in all of the sort of gaps and stuff like that, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over top of all of the sort of leather and belts and things. Boom! Has anybody here played Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei? Because I finished Ghost of Yotei about a week or so ago, and I loved it, but it made me appreciate that Ghost of Tsushima is much higher in my all-time game rankings than I previously thought. My personal favourites. I didn't realise quite how much I loved. I mean, I know I loved it, but like, I was surprised as I was playing Ghost of Yotei. I was like, this is great, but oh man, Ghost of Tsushima was so good. You know, how in the ever-loving hell do you have time for video games? Well, I don't, usually. But sometimes, something comes along where you just make the time. You force it. And then you're really tired for a week. Did G-Dub send you the new kill teams? Yes. The first one's already out. It came out on Saturday. The next one will be out on Thursday. It'll be the Sisters... Insidiance? What are they called? We had a bit of a black and red week last week. Packing those up because we did Red Corsairs for the Murder Wing, and for the Sisters we've done Order of Our Martyred Lady. But it is an updated recipe for the Order of Our Martyred Lady, so, which doesn't mean that the old one's invalid if you've already been painting them. Just another way to do it. Yeah, that works. I got the new Anno, so all painting has stopped. Anno has tempted me several times already, and I have thus far resisted its call. thus far. Will I be able to forever? No. I need some Games Workshop video games to start coming out so that I can do streams on them. And then you never know, that might become my most successful content on the channel ever, and that's when we make our transition to becoming full-time video gamers. And then what's after video gamers? I think after being if you then want to expand from being a video gamer, you then go into like you just end up doing Mr. Beast style content. I locked these 4 Warhammer fans in a Games Workshop. And told them that if they could build and paint it all in 100 days, they would get 5 grand. Yes, this is a cheap prize, but let's face it. That's one of those that's one of those things of, if I won the lottery, what's the silly things you would do? And one of the silly things I would do would be to go and find one of the, to support the staff member who runs it, one of the worst performing Games Workshop shops, because it's in the middle of nowhere, for example, and just go in and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to buy one of everything. And then just, you know, I don't know, give it away. You know, one of those stores that's like in, well, like the one I used to run in Banbury, for example. Three. Still playing through Outer Worlds 2. I never played the first one. Good evening, Mini Painting Dad. Mr. Hipster, do you have any thoughts on the new Pro Acro contrast like paints? I suppose you're meant to ask. That are supposed to be coming out. No, I had no idea that was a thing that even existed. But hey, if Pro Acro wants to send them my way to test, happily would do so. But it's okay, guys, because nobody knows who I am. Darkwater Act 2. Are you shouting at me because that's what you want to see, or are you shouting that at me because it's really exciting and you just can't keep it in anymore? Games Workshop stores are always in the most random, dodgy streets, I find. Oh yeah, no, a lot of them are. Like the one I ran again, the one in Banbury. It's at the end of one of the alleyways, off the unless it's moved, or it used to be, as far as I know. I don't think it's moved. It used to be at the end of one of the alleyways off the main street. So you'd only find it if you wanted to go to the butcher's. Or if you knew about its existence and purposely went there on purpose. Otherwise, it's very difficult to just stumble across. It was next door to a big butcher's and opposite a hairdresser's. Optimal location-wise. To be honest, it really surprises me that they haven't adopted more of a sort of richer sounds type model and just bought out a lot of sort of tiny retail units and just filled it with a demo area and core product. Just be like, yep, rest of it's available online. Because I often thought that kind of, at this point in Games Workshop's lifespan, kind of just makes more sense for them as a retail model to do. But then I suppose it does lose that. It does lose that sense of by doing that. It does lose that sense of community, and also it becomes a bit less of a destination store. Though I think there has been a bit of an effort. At least I certainly felt there was a bit of an effort when I was there to try and reduce the idea that it was a destination store and to kind of make it much more friendly to newcomers who would be interested, of course, in core and starter product. Which makes sense, right? Because I will always remember being a youngster and going into Games Workshop in Gloucester, and it just being a bit of an intimidating environment, you know, because you know I wasn't old enough to be confident. And there's clearly a lot of sort of older guys who know each other really well, so it's a bit like, excuse me. They have upgraded a lot of locations recently. Well, yeah. So there was a. I know, and again, I know there was also a concerted effort to obviously bring everything under the Warhammer banner rather than being, because obviously they're now Warhammer shops. They're not Games Workshop shops. Because they changed the brand to be Warhammer rather than Games Workshop, which kind of makes sense. And of course, despite what we may think of them, they are not complete idiots. They do check in on these things. If they can get a better deal on a better location, they will move it once the lease is up. This guy hasn't got a whole lot of leather. Which is surprising for a man covered in cowbells. He's more cowbell than man now. I have a question for those of you who are in the Discord and have been following along with the 20 minutes a day. Should I It's only because I was thinking about this the other day. I'd be interested to get your opinion. Should I just do Ultramarines for it? Or should I, once I finish the Stern Guard, and we can go straight into Victory Soldier Guard, or should I go and do one of the other myriad projects that I've got that I want to do? 39 models done already is awesome. Good work. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm working on a couple at the minute. Aside from these. I mean, if I can get these Stern Guard finished and get these Rot Swords finished, and I can get them done in the next 5 days, we'll have another 10 done. I don't think the Stern Guard will get finished. Mix it up, I reckon. Do you think? To do something else. Because I could do my Reclusians. That would be something. It's so much work to produce such little video content from so much video footage. It's just really funny. I have 2 done, but one was a dragon. Yes, you've done Ionis Cryptborn, which is not an easy model to paint by any stretch of the imagination. Well done on getting it done. Going to a GW store this weekend for the first time in a long time for that new Hellsmith, hopefully. Sounds cool. I might be able to go to the Warhammer World store anniversary. I don't know yet, though. That might be the next time I'm seen in the wild. I'll be seen in the wild this weekend, actually, but not in anything Warhammer related. But yeah. Well, it's 7:20, so I don't really have time to start another thing on these guys. But so ultimately, like, this is the thing with them, is they're actually pretty simple to do. Because we've, obviously we've done the Blight Templars, but realistically, like, from this point onwards, what we've got is we've got a bit of cloth to do. And we've got 2 different colours of cloth to do. We've got Shaiish purple cloth and we've got Sigval burgundy cloth to do. And it's just to sort of mix and match it a little bit, but also for the tattered ribbons on the banner as well. They get that treatment too. After that, there's the horns, which are done with Skeleton Horde and Cygor Brown. And then there's like the wormy sort of growths, the sort of flora and fungi that's growing off of their heads as well. That's done with Briar Queen Chill. And then after that, it's Rune Lord Brass, Iron Warriors, Militarum Green, Mantis Warriors Green, Agrax Earthshade and Gorgrunter Fur, Drybrush of Karak Stone, Scrag Brown, Deathclaw Brown, Canoptek Alloy. Done. Which is alright, isn't it? It's not bad. They're not bad to do. And you get that really effective. This is where we'll end up eventually. Because I have done, like I said, I've done a few of these already. Boom. So there we go. That's one of the rot swords, for example. So there's some of the Shaiish purple cloth, and this guy has some of the Sigval burgundy cloth on his shoulder. Oh, and we've got the skin to do as well. That's the other thing. But yeah, so it's almost at the point where like the fiddly bits get out the way. Do all the fiddly bits first, then the easy part last, and then it's just have fun with it at the end. It's just a little time consuming, that's all. That is all. But we've done, this is what I mean, see? So we've done the brown and we've done the black. So next up it's those cloth colours after that, and the antlers and the growths and stuff. But instead we'll just talk for 10 minutes. That's what we'll do. Hello, Chris. I could do some professional begging. I could do that. Could be like, hey chat, give me money. But I shan't do that. So yeah, I don't know if I've told you guys this. I have fully built in the last week as well. Fully built our next big MESBG video, which is a nice big one, which does include one thing that everyone's been asking for and a bunch of things that no one cares about. It's the 3 hunters. Yes, Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. The plastic ones. The new ones, so they are in there, but it is a combination of the Grey Company and Return of the King, so we're doing both army lists at the same time. So that's Warriors of the Dead, Rangers of the North, Halbarad with the banner, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, if I've not already said it, Army of the Dead, Rider of the Dead, Herald of the Dead, and King of the Dead. It's like 10 things in one video, and it made me laugh because it's like, how many videos can I put Legolas in and paint him slightly differently each time? Because that'll be the 3rd one, and if we do Ride Out, that'll be the 4th one that has a different Legolas in it. The Death Guard Tyrant with the membership. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And I was like, can we do? Are there 10 Legolas models? And I don't think there are, but there is 3 hunters. I've got 2 metal ones. There's Fellowship. There's Legolas on horse. There's Legolas and Gimli on horse. There's Prince of Mirkwood. And there's Hunters of Mirkwood. So there's 8 that I can think of. You could do 8 videos that all feature Legolas in some way, shape, or form. Oh, look, he's back again! Legolas! Today we're doing Assault on Raven Hill. So we're painting up half of the champions of Erebor, and Legolas and Tauriel are here as well. Ambush at Amon-Hen, that's another one. Then there's obviously there's Men of the West, Defenders of the Pelennor, Helm's Deep, Ride Out, Warg Attack. All of that. There's loads. There's loads and loads and loads. Videos where he appears. So it made me laugh a lot. But if you've always wanted 3 different ways to paint the same character, I'm your man. There'll be 2 Aragorns and 2 Gimlis. We might need to even the score somehow. Maybe we'll do a Defenders of Helm's Deep list that only has Aragorn and Gimli in it, alongside the Galadrim. But we just leave Legolas out. Still working through Darkwater at the moment. Pox Wretches take deceptively long. They do indeed. Unless you are in a rush to get it all finished before the deadline. In which case, you power through. But you don't have to, so I don't recommend that you do. Any tips for how to conquer a shaky hand when painting? Also, chances of you giving us a brush maintenance video. Most I've seen doesn't really deal with contrast paints that wick up as easily. I can do a brush maintenance video, but I don't practice what I preach because I use these paints all day every day and I use the brushes all day every day. So actually it just, I don't generally tend to do it as much, but I can certainly make that video. When it comes to the shaky hands, though, I can talk about that now very briefly. One of the things I think a lot of people try and do is they try and paint with hovering arms. They try and paint like this, right? And that's just so, like, when you're trying to, I can't do that. So if I keep my arms like this and I try, and I know this is exaggerated, right? But if I keep my arms like this and I try and make contact with the model, I can't do it, right? So it's really difficult to do this. So one of the things that can really help with shaky hands is just bracing the model in as many ways as you possibly can. And so one of the things I don't do, and you'll see it as well when I do these live streams, right? For example, I will come over when I do the video footage, I will come over the desk like this, and I will do, because this is a top-down camera. The camera's directly down facing, so I will do the filming here like this. But this is not the posture that I'm going to keep, because if I do that, I end up like right down here trying to get it done. Instead, I paint back here, right? And that's because I've got arms. I've got solid arms on my chair. I've not got wobbly arms, I've got solid arms on my chair. And my elbow is braced on the chair at all times, right? So both my elbows will always be braced on the chair at all times. So that eliminates the painting in the air, right? So that helps with the part of the shakiness, because I have a bit of shaky hand as well at times. And then the other thing that I do, and you can get specific painting handles that are different to this, but firstly, painting handles really help with this hand, because you're not like, one thing I used to do is when I used to paint miniatures, so I used to paint miniatures like this. I used to hold them like that, which is not great, especially when you have shaky hands, right? So having a painting handle helps because you're making a fist, right? Much easier. You can get ones that are designed to help you with shaky hands, but what I do is I use this one because I like how, pardon the use of the word, but I like how much girth it has. I don't like the newer GW painting handles because it tapers to a really thin end. I don't like that. I like a thicker one. And so the other part of this is when bracing is you'll notice me do sometimes in the videos is this little piggy is touching the model of the base on my finger as I'm going along, and I'm painting like this, right? So if I'm painting comfortably, my elbows are touching, my elbows are braced on my chair, and my hands are often braced like this, and my little finger is braced like that. So I'm all kinds of like this, but I paint back here comfortably. I don't paint like this, right? So you want to trying to do like what you'll see people demonstrate where they're like, where they're like this. No one paints like this. Like it's so inaccurate. You know? I mean, some people might paint like that, but try this. Like that. Try that. Like, you can even brace it on your, in my case, ample bosom. And like that. But like I will paint like this. Elbow there. And I'll brace like this. Like that. Does that help? I did notice Howls274 with the one gifted Warhipster membership, like an absolute bloody legend. Thank you guys, that's very kind of you. And for the $5 super chat, appreciate the videos. And I appreciate you. Wait, what do they do now? They do that, don't they? That's the thing. It's not this anymore, is it? Al told me off for that. She's like, no, that's not what they do anymore. They do this. And I was like, who's they? Young people. Oh, that yawn snuck up on me. Ah, right. Well, there we go. We have reached the 2-hour mark. Or not quite, because we've only been live for 1 hour and 57 minutes and 25 seconds. Because I was late, as always. But yes, what can you expect to see this week? Well, I will be back on Wednesday. Possibly doing more rot swords. Possibly doing another crack at the airbrush. Don't know yet. I'm more comfortable doing more rot swords than I am doing more airbrush, but we shall see. So I'll be back live on Wednesday at 8:30 PM, and then this Thursday there will be Contrast Plus How to Paint Order of Our Martyred Ladies Celestian Insidiants, or whatever they're called. I really cannot remember that name. And then on Saturday it'll be Slaven Knights. I need a video for next Thursday. I don't have one yet, so I need to get a wriggle on with the rot swords. Or it's going to be the airbrush, or it's going to be the 20 minutes a day part 1, or it's going to be an MESBG video, but I'd have to put in a real shift to get what I think is about 30 MESBG models done between now and next Thursday, and I simply do not have that kind of capacity at the moment. I don't think. Let me just count how many models it was. It is 1, 2, 3. There's Eladan and Elra here actually for that as well. 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 31, 30, 33 models. So yeah, it's Halbarad, Eladan, Elrahir, Eladan on horse, Elrahir on horse. 12 Rangers of the North, King of the Dead, 2 Heralds of the Dead, 10 Warriors of the Dead, Rider of the Dead, Banner of the Dead, Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn. And it's the dead part shouldn't be too difficult. Like, I've been looking at it and looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. And, like, there's the Games Workshop box art version, which is the sort of Coelia green shade, sort of greyish, tealy green. And then there's the film representation where when they are in the mountain, they are a little bit sort of tealy grey, greyish, see-through, bluish, that kind of thing. But then when they are on the Pelennor, they are bright green. And there's a lot of videos out there that are like, just use Baletan green. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I get that. But part of me is like, maybe we should do a couple of ghosts in the Army of the Dead to be slightly different colours. And of course, the King of the Dead, he needs to have just that little touch of Berserker bloodshed on his clothes as well. So yeah, there's that. But the dead side of it shouldn't take too long. It's just the Rangers of the North, Halbarad, Elladan, Elrohir, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli that will take a couple of days to do. So yeah, we'll have to see. But fingers crossed, this week goes as well as I hope it's going to go. Got a lot to do tonight. But if I make some serious headway with a thing, I can make some serious headway on some other stuff, and then maybe we'll get to that, and we'll have that for next Thursday. Or I'll just plow on through with the Rot Swords, and we'll see how it goes. Mines of Moria, the video. That is also another one that we need to work on. But I had more things built for Return of the King / Grey Company than I do Mines of Moria. I have nothing built for that. I haven't even built the... Actually, that's not true. I have built the Cave Troll and like 6 of the goblins. And they don't need much building, but I built 6 of the goblins from the Balin's Tomb game. So we have some of that list built, but just there's a lot more of it to build. Also, hello. How are you doing, Halithworth, son of Hammer? The way is shut. But there we go. So that's the content raft for the next week. So still moving a little slow, but things are going to ramp up soon, I'm sure. We shall find out together. Also, thank you to all the new subscribers in the last 2 hours. We've jumped right up there. To 721. 98,721. So yeah, 79, 279, 1,279 to go. I'm looking forward to your Iron Warrior video. I'm looking forward to painting him as well. I'm looking forward to painting him. I'm looking forward to painting Huron Blackheart. I'm looking forward to painting Prince Uriel. But of course, all of this is dependent on whether or not they even send it to me. I mean, hopefully they do. They might. They might not, though. They might send them to other people more deserving. In which case, I'll be 2 weeks behind everyone else because I have to order them. But my 500 Worlds Titus book turned up today, so I'm gonna give that a read later. I'm excited to have a look at it and just to examine it because I know the rules are free on Warhammer Community, but I want to smell the book. As it were. So that turned up, which is good. I mean, look, I'm excited to paint most. I'm excited to paint mostly everything that they've previewed. I think it's all really cool so far this year. I mean, this year's looking like it. I mean, they can't keep the bangers going every week. There is going to be something coming out where I'll be like, oh, no, like oh, this week we've got Rhino doors, and they'll be like, okay, cool. But you know, Lumineth Realm Lords. I really like that Venari Lord Regent. The Fate Master, I think he's cool. The Custodes, I'm excited to have a go at. Cathay Wave 2, we still don't know where that is. That's coming. And I really like the archers in those. Again, having... you know. So, there's that. Obviously, there's the Red Corsairs. There's the Eldari Corsairs. What else? What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting other things. There's other things. The High Elf Dragon Princes, the Blood Bowl team. I'd like to get my hands on them. Then I'll have 3 options. I like having options. Everyone likes having options. So yeah. Well, on that note, you crazy cats, I am going to run off now. So, if I don't see you before next Wednesday, this Wednesday, if I don't see you before Wednesday, have a wonderful rest of your week. And if I do see you on Wednesday, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. And Wednesday. Rolled into this both well-wishing. But yeah, I hope you have a really good one, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. Beautiful people. Bye for now, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next one.